Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. Welcome back to Movie Monday. I'm actually in the middle of my Rocky marathon, which is a different episode, but at this point in time, and as I'm recording this, my Creed copy has not arrived yet. I ordered it on 4K. It's just not here yet. So I thought I'd pause that marathon to start the next week's marathon, which is Mission Impossible. Oh yes, I have got all 6 movies on 4K. For me, there's not a bad movie in this franchise. Honestly, there's not a bad movie in this franchise. I think some people dislike the second one. Like, that's the weakest one, and it is the weakest one, to be fair, but I still like the second one. I love the first and the third, good original trilogy, and then the fourth one, they really upped the level. They leveled up every single movie after that. Fourth one was great, fifth one even better, and the last one, Fallout, that was insane. Absolutely insane. I'm so glad they're making 2 more, because this has been a great franchise so far, and I trust them to make more great installments. But honestly, I enjoyed all 6 of them, but in the second half, you know, 4 to 6, they really upped the levels for the stunts and the action and the visuals. It's so good. It's great. It's a great spy thriller action type movie, and I really enjoy all 6 of them quite a lot. So this will be fun. It's been a while since I rewatched the original trilogy. Like, I watched them as a kid for the first time when I was in school. Then I rewatched them a couple times since then, but the last time was years ago, I think. But the 4th, 5th and 6th ones, I watched them a lot more recently, you know, so it's going to be a good refresh of my memory, the first 3 for sure, when I watch this. But yeah, I look forward to this fantastic franchise, one of the best spy franchises out there. I think it's just fantastic. So yeah, haven't seen the 4K versions yet. Thought I'd save that for a video, and I'm doing that right now. Let's do this. I like the way this box set is packaged. You've got 3 cases, all 5 movies on regular Blu-ray, all 5 movies on 4K. They somehow fit 5 discs in one regular size case, which is awesome, and then Fallout on its own on 4K and Blu-ray. It's a cool little package box set, and definitely worth getting. Mission Impossible has one of the best movie theme songs ever. Like, seriously, it's that good. Do. I don't want to do it too much because I heard a YouTuber got copyrighted for doing that. That heist, when they broke in as firemen, so good, so intense. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Also, I just heard they're in London, right? And the radio's ongoing. Just heard a Premier League report. Man United top of the league. Leicester lost to Nottingham Forest, who consolidated place in 5th place. What else did I hear? I can't remember. Wonder what season that is. A while ago though, because this came out in the 90s. That finale on that train, ridiculous, but also bloody awesome. You could tell it was effects, so I do kind of wish we had modern effects on that scene. It would look so much better, but it still looks good for its time. It still holds up, I think. Still looks very good and very intense. Anyway, on to the second one. Is it just me who heard gladiator style music in the finale of Mission Impossible 2? Like, if you've seen Gladiator and you remember the music of that movie, and you've also seen Mission Impossible 2, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you remember the music of Mission Impossible 2, but there's some music, not at the end also, but also in the middle as well when they enter that building. For the character played by Fanny Newton, that character, specifically for her, when she's in danger, etc., you hear that music. It's just like, it sounds like Gladiator style. But yeah, like, I really enjoy Mission Impossible 2, I really do. It still is the weakest one for me, but it's still a pretty good movie that I really enjoy. A stellar cast as well. I mean, they added in Fandy Newton and Anthony Hopkins. Hopkins isn't in it that much, but, you know, it's a big cast member. And other familiar faces too. Good cast and a good action movie. Also, this franchise has a nice amount of chase scenes. I do love chase scenes in movies. I love them. There's a lot of great ones, and Mission Impossible, the franchise, has them in abundance. Pretty much every movie has at least one good one, so I love that sort of stuff, and they get more intense as the movies go along as well, which I appreciate. But yeah, the second one's good. The second one's good. In the third one, I think that's when they introduced Simon Pegg, right? Simon Pegg is a character I wouldn't have thought would have fit into the Mission Impossible franchise, but he fit in and then some. He was introduced in the third one, and he stayed on since then. He's been a recurring character in the 4th, 5th and 6th one, and I love him. He's great, so looking forward to seeing him. And also, what's the guy's name? Duke. Is his name Duke? No, Luther. Sorry, not Duke. Speaking of a movie there. Luther. He's been in the... that's the character name. He's been in this franchise the whole time, like since the first one. And I knew that, but it's always cool to see recurring characters aside from Ethan Hunt. And Tom Cruise is great as Ethan Hunt, but also Luther is a great loyal character who's been with him for all 6 movies. So, you know, that's elite in itself. I guess it's time to watch Mission Impossible 3. Didn't realise that Aaron Paul was in Mission Impossible 3, aka Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. Then again, how would I know? I watched Mission Impossible 3 before I watched Breaking Bad, so I wouldn't have known him anyway. And he was only a quick cameo anyway, so kind of makes sense. But it's kind of cool to see what they were in before they were in the bigger thing. Even though Mission Impossible is a bigger thing, but I mean like the bigger role that they had. But yeah, also Lauren Fishburne is in this, which I do remember. This movie is definitely a lot more personal than the other two. I mean, the first one was pretty personal. The first one, the team turned on him because they thought he was a rogue agent. They blamed him for the murders of his team. He had to prove himself innocent and also take down the guy who was actually the real one behind it. The second one was, well, it was a mission. It was personal, sure, but actually, to be fair, it was really personal because of the virus and the girl. But this one feels the most personal because he found love. He got married to someone, and before he knew it, getting involved with the wrong villain, managed to get his wife kidnapped. Happened so suddenly as well. Like, he was going after this villain, and he captured him. But then, the moment, literally the day he escaped, he was mentioning, like when he got captured, he was gonna say, "I'm gonna capture whoever your wife or girlfriend is, I'm going to torture her." He said that, and literally on the day that he escaped, she also got kidnapped. Like, how would he have communicated with his team that it was her? Like, how did that happen? It's crazy. It's crazy how life came at Ethan really fast there. But yeah, she got kidnapped, and then Ethan's own agency bloody took him in for questioning, because it's the worst timing, because he has 48 hours to save his wife, and he has to find a briefcase first. I really love all the bait and switches they do because of the thing where they wear another face, and obviously you can peel them off. It's a perfect disguise, and they always get me. Like in I think it was the second movie they got me, where I thought Ethan Hunt died. Not this time round, but when I first watched it as a kid, I thought he died. Then it turned out it was someone else because he pulled his mask off. He's actually the opposite guy. And in this one, like, oh, I knew this time round, but when I first watched it, it looked like his wife was dead because he was shot dead, but it turned out it was just another woman with her face on. So they got me a couple of times when I first watched it, that's for sure. And it's a really cool concept, you know, how you can just wear someone's face. I wonder if that exists in real life. Can you imagine? Obviously though, he saved his wife, and that was all good, and she saved him in a way. The way he takes down the villain with that truck, that was a brutal death. I also love how his wife turned into a badass, even though he taught her to use a gun like 5 minutes ago, and she professionally took 2 guys out. it was kind of crazy how accurate her shots were. But yeah, I'm pretty sure like she's not in the 4th one onwards, so I'm wondering what happened with her. I've actually forgotten that bit. The movie just ended with them walking away, happy. So like, where does she go? They'll probably explain in the next one. I'll probably watch it in a couple hours. I've been sitting there through all 3 movies, and I am in need of a stretch. I'm just gonna go edit this, and I need to work on some videos too, so I will watch the 4th one, and then I guess I'll finish off this marathon before finishing off the Rocky Marathon, because I don't even know if I turn up tomorrow. So yeah, get another one out the way, and then after that I'm gonna start a Jurassic one. I'm in the marathon mood. Well, they're running out of marathons to do, but yeah, Jurassic is coming up. Now that I think about it, I think the 3rd one had the best ending, like easily. Despite all the dark stuff that happened, all the stuff that he'd been put through, he walks away happy with his wife, and he gets offered a new job as well. But it ends with him walking away happy with his wife, with his mates in the background smiling back at him. He's in the clear, the villain's taken out, and him and his wife are happy, and they just walk away. It's a nice happy ending for a dark movie, and yeah, it's definitely the best, most satisfying ending, come to think of it. Yeah. Very heartwarming, very heartwarming. Anyway, I am now watching Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol, and I'll tell you what, the 4K has stepped up a few levels. It was good in the original trilogy, it was not too bad. It was good 4K, good quality, but the 4th one has been a bigger jump. Compared to the previous 3, the 4th one's 4K looks a lot cleaner, a lot nicer. So I'm looking forward to the rest of this movie, because already I'm 10 minutes in. Visually looks very nice. and I cannot wait to see all the stunts, especially in the in Dubai as well, and obviously in Rogue Nation and Fallout as well. There's a lot of crazy stunts in there, and it's just amazing how Tom Cruise does his own stunts. Like, he literally hung on the side of a plane as it took off. That's insane. He did that himself. He learned how to fly a helicopter for Fallout as well. He does his own stunts, and look at the things he does in his movies. It's crazy, you know. You usually leave it to the stuntman because they're the ones that have to risk their lives usually. But Tom Cruise, he's one of those actors that does it all himself. You got to respect that, you really do. And him as Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible, he's iconic and he's a legend. Not just because he does his own stunts, but it's partly because of that. But also, it's a great character he plays, and you can tell he loves this character because he puts a lot of effort into it. Partly through doing his own stunts as well. I think that's great. It shows how much he's dedicated, and I love that. I love dedicated actors, and Tom Cruise is one of the best. I really forgot how intense the Kremlin scene was. My days. How have I forgotten half of that? I also forgot that Paula Patton was in this. So we just got introduced to Jeremy Renner's character, and I'm pretty sure he was supposed to succeed Tom Cruise as the lead in this franchise, but then Tom Cruise continued on. I think that's what it was anyway. I'm wondering why he wasn't in Fallout. Because he was introduced in this one, and he was in Rogue Nation, but in Fallout he just wasn't there. I'm pretty sure he didn't die, so I wonder why that was. Apparently he could be in the 7th one, but I have no idea. It's coming out next year, and number 8 in 2023. Maybe it's like a 2-parter? I have no idea, but I don't know if they still go ahead with that Jim Renner lead thing, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're meant to do. But yeah, still, he was a recurring character for 2 movies. I'm wondering why he wasn't in Fallout. It's mad watching the scene of Ethan Hunt climbing up the Burj Khalifa. And it's mad, not just because of the scene, but because Tom Cruise did that. Tom Cruise actually climbed up the Burj Khalifa. He had a harness. He wasn't like doing it freely. With a harness. But still, with permission. He literally climbed up the Burj Khalifa. This guy's commitment and dedication and bravery is unmatched. It really is unmatched. This guy should win stunt awards. Like, this guy's crazy. Also, the visuals on this Burj Khalifa scene specifically, amazing. They look literally visually the best scene in the movie. Like, just, I'm watching it right now. It's incredible. Now, I was talking about how cool the Burj Khalifa scene was. I completely forgot how awesome the chase scene was straight after. Talking about Mission Impossible 3's ending, number 4's ending also is quite nice because you see his wife, you see what happened to her. Basically, well, you don't see it, but he tells Jeremy Renner that they faked her death to keep her safe, keep her identity safe. They faked her death that way people wouldn't come after her. So it's a smart move, and he actually sees her at the end as well from a distance, just watching, and she looks back. They smile at each other. That's pretty nice. And then Ethan accepts submission about the Syndicate, who are the villains of the next movie. So yeah, I look forward to Rogue Nation next. Incredible movie, that one as well. And Fallout 2. Fallout's going to be crazy when I rewatch that. I loved it in the cinema. So yeah, 2 of the best coming up. So Creed arrived, but I still got to watch Rocky Balboa. There's 3 movies left in that marathon. So I thought, hey, you know what? Let's finish off this one first. Rogue Nation! Let's do this. I love this one and Fallout. My absolute favourites in the franchise. They're so good. Rebecca Ferguson is stunning. And if you've seen the movie, I think you know which scene I just saw. Ah yes, just as good as I remember it. Rogue Nation is so good. I love so many of the action scenes, so many of the chase scenes, and it's just a really good spy thriller, and with great stunts as well. Anyway, on to Fallout, which is the best of everything, I feel, and the addition of Henry Cavill is fantastic, because Henry Cavill is so good in that movie. I love all the bait and switches that they do in this franchise. Like, there's so many things that trick characters in the movie and trick you as well. Some of them you see coming, other ones, they come out of nowhere. Like, you think one thing is going on, and then you realise, oh, it's all a hoax, it's all a play. It's so good how they trick you like that. I love it. They've been doing it since the very first movie. One of my favourite things about this franchise. It's very unique. The only spy franchise I like more is 007, but obviously that's huge, that's a juggernaut, but this one is so damn good, you know, and they come more often than James Bond does. You know, just like in Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation's 4K looks very good, but Fallout's 4K includes the IMAX scenes. It has some IMAX scenes in there. it already has good visuals, and I appreciate that more. If they ever put IMAX scenes on a 4K Blu-ray, that's usually a really good thing, because it's incredible. If you didn't know, IMAX has a big aspect ratio, vertically anyway, going this way, so there's less of the black bars and more of full screen. In the cinema, IMAX is incredible, and nothing really matches IMAX in the cinema. But in terms of like Blu-rays, to put IMAX scenes on Blu-ray, especially 4K Blu-rays, it's bloody good, because it's full screen, and the quality is already high, and you just know it's going to be good, and look good, and sound good. So I really appreciate it when studios do put those scenes on there. I'm pretty sure Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation had IMAX scenes, but it didn't put those scenes on the 4K Blu-ray disc, unfortunately. But when studios do actually get that done, looks great, you know. Another good example is the Dark Knight trilogy. Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, the 4K Blu-rays include IMAX scenes. Dunkirk, almost all of it's in IMAX scenes. It looks incredible. So I appreciate the quality. I really do. That fight scene in the toilets was really good. Like in terms of like hand-to-hand combat, probably the best we've seen in the franchise. I wish it went on for longer because it was quite a short scene. I want to see more of those types of scenes, to be fair, because it was good. Just realised Vanessa Kirby's in this. I do remember. I do remember she was in it. It just slipped my memory until I saw her. I also noticed they love casting British actors for this franchise, which is perfectly fine. I'm happy to see that. It's quite a few British females as well. British female leads, even from the very start of the franchise. Yeah, I'm starting to realise that a bit more now, now that I come to think of it. Also males too, Henry Cavill, for example. That whole Paris chase sequence was unreal. That was 2 incredible chase scenes back to back. So good. So I just remembered the twist. I mean, there's a lot of twists in this franchise and in this movie, but I just remembered the Julia twist. I was asking where she was after MI3, and we did see her in MI4. I completely forgot she was in Fallout. They brought her back for Fallout. I forgot about that completely. I remember now. I remember everything about the finale except for her turning up. Selective memory, I say. I don't know. My brain just remembers what it wants to remember, but yeah, Julia was there. Yeah, she turns up. I just remembered, like, they haven't shown her yet, but Henry Cavill's character, I think his name is Walker, he threatened to kill her if he came after him. So then that triggered my memory. I was just like, oh yeah, she turns up. She's in that, was it on the Indian border? Either way, I'm looking forward to the finale, but I completely forgot Julie was part of the plot. So Henry Cavill admitted that, I mean, I say admitted, he said he was a guardian angel. Obviously she's under IMF protection, and I guess he got a hold of that, and he has a number he can call her, trick her into thinking he's her protection, so he can get to her, and that kind of defeats the purpose of getting her off the grid to protect her. So that's pretty crazy in itself. I do wonder, like, they raised the stakes so much for Fallout. How are they going to make it even bigger for 7 and 8? That's what I'm wondering. Also, I'd read an article recently that they are no longer filming 7 and 8 back to back. They just finished filming number 7, a lot of it in England apparently, and number 8 they're going to film it later. They were going to film both one after the other, so I'm assuming because of that number 8 will not come out in 2023. Either way, I'm intrigued to see what they will do with the 7th and 8th ones. I'm intrigued because I feel like they really did a great job with the first 6. I wonder where they'll take it. I guess we'll find out next year. I mean, I already thought this, but I'll say it again. That final sequence, the climax to Mission Impossible Fallout, the climax to Mission Impossible 6, one of the best, actually, you know what? The best sequence in the franchise. Easily. That whole helicopter chase while his friends were trying to defuse the bomb. He's got to try and get a detonator. Ethan's chasing Walker in a separate helicopter. That helicopter chase was crazy, and then the helicopter's crashing was crazy, and then that whole cliff scene of him trying to get a detonator, and then him finally taking down Walker as well, and then getting the detonator in time. So much had to go right for them, but it really was Mission Impossible, and they accomplished it with mere milliseconds to go. That was insane. That was actually insane. At first, when I first saw it in cinemas, I thought the bomb went off because the screen went completely white. I thought, because Ethan was hanging off the edge of the cliff anyway, I thought he was done. I thought he didn't have a detonator, but he did. Amazing sequence though, and on the 4K Blu-ray they had that sequence in IMAX quality, full screen, same aspect ratio as IMAX. It looked bloody incredible. I also love how they switch between IMAX scenes and normal scenes. Like, you get your scenes with like black bars, which is most of the movie, and then for the big scenes it switches to full screen IMAX. It seems like I should notice it more, but I just don't notice it. Like, I'm just like, whoa, where did the black bars come from? But yeah, literally, like, the IMAX scenes in this are incredible, and that whole helicopter sequence, that whole finale with Henry Cavill and the detonator, that was all in full screen IMAX quality. Amazing 4K. This is the sort of thing I buy this television for. Incredible. Incredible. Not quite as good as the cinema, but still, for home video, elite. You know, some of the credits music sounds like Dark Knight music. I got the same feeling during one of the chase scenes in Paris. Anyway, yeah, my watch through of Mission Impossible is done. Every movie is enjoyable, but the last three, they're really up the levels visually, action wise. It's just so damn good, and this is why I want more. So to be fair, I was satisfied with the 6 of them. I felt like if they ended it there, that would have been perfect anyway, but they're doing more, and hopefully the ones they do extra are just as good, if not better. But it's going to take a lot, and I mean a lot, to top what they did in Fallout. Like, how do you top that? How do you top that? But we'll see, you know, they always put out surprises for us in this franchise, so you never know what MI7 could bring to the table. So yeah, I'm gonna go finish my, actually no, not tonight, another night, I'm gonna go finish my Rocky marathon, and that'll be up before this one, which is quite interesting. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching, have a good day, and see ya.